At the time of this episode, XRP is currently trading at $2.71. I'm here to tell you, don't sell it yet. Just don't do it. Okay, it's nearly touching $3. First we broke the dollar mark, then the $2 mark. Now we're here. But don't get a case of weak paper hands, okay? Now, unless you guys really need the money for emergencies or whatever the case may be, then yes, by all means, go ahead and sell it. I've seen a few different examples and stories. So one guy had to sell all of his XRP to pay for his grandma's funeral. Another guy, he had to sell his XRP to be able to have a down payment for his first house. Stuff like that. So if you have to, do it. Do what you have to. But I will never ever judge anyone for selling for a valid reason. I will, however, judge you if you sell for irrational reason. I also want to remind everybody of why we buy XRP in the first place, which is for the banks to start using them, but they haven't started using them yet. But we're almost there. Okay, $2 and some change is nothing compared to what it can be. You guys are trying to go to the moon, but you're selling before it even touches the sky. Another thing to keep in mind is that most of this price action is artificial. We haven't seen institutional utilization yet. We haven't seen mass adoption, and especially the banks haven't even started using them yet, which is the whole reason or reasons why we started using or investing in the first place. We've all seen what happened with Bitcoin, nearly touching 100K for the very first time. And what tends to happen is the rest of the crypto market tends to follow behind Bitcoin. But for those of you who know and who've been doing your research, you should know that Bitcoin is actually been manipulated by Tether. And we all know about Tether, right? It's going to implode. It's going to, eventually crash the market. There's actually not enough reserves to back it up like they claim it to be. So just try to stay grounded and keep all of that in mind while all of this is currently happening. Earlier, I made a video on what it would take for XRP to reach the high prices that everyone's been talking about and debating about. This was, I think, about 8 to 10 months ago, but I laid down a whole bunch of pillars, but we haven't even reached half the pillars yet. One of them, however, is the SEC case, which is pretty much over. Ripple got down with the settlement. The next pillar we need is regulations. And with this new administration coming into office, I'm not trying to get political here, but with Trump being our new president next January, on January 20th, whether you love him or hate him, he's going to be good for crypto. Gary Gensler is also leaving the SEC, and then with Trump appointing a new SEC chair, we can only hope that everything will be good for crypto. And not just good for crypto, but actually good for stocks and overall the whole market and economy as well. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. 2025 was always going to be the year that we will see the new all-time highs and those high price points due to many different factors. So March 10th of 2025 is when the Federal Reserve is going to adopt the ISO 20022 message format for the FedWire Fund service in a single-day implementation strategy. This implementation is going to say goodbye to the old proprietary FedWire application interface format and replace all of that with the messages with the ISO 20022 messaging. Another reason why 2025 is the year is because November of next year, 2025, is the deadline for the ISO 2022 payments and infrastructure. So financial institutions have until November 2025 to upgrade their current systems to be compliant with the ISO 20022 messaging standard. These are just a couple reasons out of the many as to why 2025 is going to be the year that we will see mass adoption, mass utilization, and the high price rise that we've all been dreaming and waiting for. Now, I believe we're probably going to see a pullback, possibly a correction. I don't know how much of a correction, how far, but I believe the price is going to fluctuate between now and Q4 of 2025, so just be mentally ready for that. We might even break our all-time high of $3.84 before then, but I don't know. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take anything I say as financial advice, but I would keep dollar cost averaging from now until it becomes unaffordable. If it goes below $1 again, which some people don't believe it ever will, that would probably be a good chance to dump a little bit more extra money into it. But I would keep slowly and steadily buying it. Every paycheck, just throw a little bit into it and keep stacking up your bag. At least right now while it's still affordable. Another thing to remember, folks, is that XRP is deflationary, meaning its price will rise. Price comes down to two things, supply and demand. We already have the supply factor down because the total amount of XRP is 100 billion, but there can never be any more created, minted, or mined. And every time we transact with XRP, a very, very small portion of it gets depleted. So gradually, the price of it will rise. Keep that in mind. XRP was created to be a bridge currency between many different assets that are possible to be traded on the XRP ledger. So essentially, this is going to be the centerpiece of anything with value. So we have fiat currencies, cryptocurrencies, commodities, securities, and even loyalty points. And also think real-world asset tokenizations. But imagine all of this value being transmitted on the XRP ledger. The amount of transactions and value will obviously increase, thereby increasing the price of XRP. XRP is a long-term investment. It's not meant for short-term or day trading. If you're trying to do that, then this is the wrong asset for you. It's okay to get excited over $2, but I'm telling you guys, you ain't seen nothing yet. So keep holding strong and remember why you bought it in the first place. If you've been holding for years, congratulations, you've made it this far. But what's another year or so of you waiting again? Patience is key, folks. Do your research and understand what's happening from the underlying technology to the plans that Ripple has with their partners and institutions. The whole landscape of cross-border payments is going to change. And be very, very thankful that we all, as normal, common people, have the opportunity to buy XRP.